Salt and sanguine, faith, hunger, the tide. The first thing she noticed about Ravenshire was the smell, a mingling of brine and iron, as though the sea itself was bleeding. It was a village forgotten by maps and time, perched on the edge of the North Sea, where cliffs wept salt and gulls screamed like lost souls. The houses were built of gray stone and weathered wood, their windows blind with salt spray. The locals called it the Blessed Shore. Outsiders, when they rarely came, called it cursed. Lydia Marrow, investigative journalist for the Verity Ledger, had come to uncover why. The story had begun as a whisper, a coastal commune that claimed the sea spoke to them, that it chose them. Reports of disappearances followed, then footage of the ocean foaming red during their rituals. Lydia thought it a hoax until the letter started, arriving at the paper unsigned, written in a hand that trembled. "We're not drowning, we're transforming." She rented a room in the converted lighthouse at the commune's edge. From her window, the sea stretched infinite, silver at dawn, crimson by dusk. The wind carried voices that sounded almost human. The villagers were polite but distant, their eyes pale as driftwood, their skin faintly luminescent beneath moonlight. They wore coral talismans around their necks, and their leader, Mother Rhea, spoke in parables about the hunger of the tide. Rhea's voice was soft but commanding, like the hush before a wave breaks. "The sea does not take," she told Lydia one night by the bonfire. "It reclaims. We offer what the world has already wasted." The bonfire burned with blue flames, casting eerie reflections in the villagers' eyes. Lydia noticed that their shadows seemed to move independently, rippling across the sand like something alive. By day, she interviewed the commune members. By night, she recorded their chants, their salt-marked symbols carved into the driftwood altar. Yet the deeper she dug, the less she trusted her own senses. Her dreams began to fill with water. She would wake to the sound of waves breaking inside the room, the floor damp, her sheets reeking of salt. Once, she found a strand of seaweed tangled in her hair, slick, crimson, still dripping. The same night, she followed a procession of villagers down to the shore, cloaked in mist. They sang in a language she didn't recognize, low and rhythmic, as the tide surged higher. Then she saw it, the red foam. It rolled onto the sand in thick, bubbling waves, glinting darkly under the moonlight. Lydia leaned closer, and the stench of blood hit her. The foam shimmered with a sheen of oil, or perhaps something living. Within it, faint outlines of faces appeared, eyes opening and closing like the flicker of dying embers. Rhea turned to her and smiled. "You smell it, don't you?" The covenant between flesh and tide. Lydia stumbled back. "What are you feeding?" Rhea's smile didn't waver. "Not what, my child? Who?" In that instant, Lydia realized she recognized some of the faces, other missing persons she'd seen in news clippings, their features distorted in the surf. Panic clawed at her chest. She ran back to her room, heart hammering, only to find her recordings gone. In their place lay a single page of her own handwriting. "We are not drowning, we are transforming." She didn't remember writing it. Days passed in disjointed fragments. Her reflection in the mirror began to warp. Her skin glistened faintly, her eyes tinted blue-green like deep water. Her voice, when she spoke into her recorder, echoed back delayed, like sound carried through liquid. Then came the final ritual, the tide communion. The entire commune gathered on the shore beneath a swollen, rust-red moon. The water churned with unnatural life. Rhea stood before them, arms outstretched, her silhouette backlit by the shimmering horizon. "Tonight, we return what we've borrowed," she said. "And the sea will remember us." The villagers stepped forward one by one, wading into the surf. Their bodies began to dissolve, not in agony, but serenity, skin turning translucent, veins glowing like phosphorescent coral. Lydia tried to scream, but her voice was gone, replaced by the sound of waves crashing inside her skull. She felt the pull then, the tide's soft persuasion. The salt burned against her skin like invitation. And in that moment, she remembered. She had been here before. Not as a journalist, but as a believer. The sea rose, hungry and alive. When the sun rose the next morning, the village was empty. No footprints marked the sand. No smoke rose from chimneys. Only the red foam remained, shimmering faintly as it lapped against the shore. Weeks later, a fisherman found a recorder tangled in his nets. The tape within hissed with static, and then a woman's voice, soft and distant, spoke, "We are not drowning, ... We are transforming." And beneath her words, faint but rising, was the rhythmic crash of waves and a whisper that sounded almost like laughter.